The big issue in American politics this summer has been the debt ceiling. The summer of 2011 will no doubt be remembered as the summer in which Congress and the President negotiated, fought, battled over this issue like never before. A vote that's been held many times, dozens of times, and been treated as almost a routine vote most of the time, suddenly became the center of political controversy. What I'd like to do now is talk a little bit about why that is, the background, as well as the ramifications of the decision that was finally made in August 2nd, 2011. The debt ceiling originated in World War I, at a time when Congress really didn't have a modern budgeting system as it does now, and when the government was confronted with the need for a rapid increase in spending on an unprecedented scale. It was an effort to maintain some control over the national debt under those circumstances. The debt ceiling is really something obsolete. It's not something that other countries use, and now that Congress has developed a modern budgetary system, it actually creates a contradiction. Because on the one hand, Congress appropriates funds that exceed the existing debt ceiling in its budgetary process, which necessitates a vote to increase the debt ceiling by statute, which is a legal limit. Moody's, a bond rating agency, has recommended that the U.S. government simply abolish it and do a better job of budgeting in good times and bad. That certainly would resolve the problem, but that begs a question about the political system. And problems in our political system seem to have been at the center of the issues this summer during the debt ceiling controversy. The immediate cause of the debt ceiling controversy, of course, is the fact that the debt is rising. The debt's rising for a number of reasons. First and foremost, the slow economy. When the economy slows down, government's income through tax revenues slows down, and its spending increases necessarily as people file for unemployment benefits, workers leave the workforce, some of them take early retirement, Social Security expenditures rise faster than would have been the case otherwise. Even here at a state university, we always experience an enrollment surge when the economy is slow. There's a greater demand for government services when people are out of work or when businesses are experiencing difficult times as well. It's a natural part of the business cycle, or I should say a normal part of the business cycle. On the other hand, when the economy is growing, we want to see government spending fall as a share of national income and counterbalance the effects of difficult times. So that's why we have the primary reason. The second reason for the debt rising was that in order to stimulate the economy, 2 years ago, Congress passed a very large stimulus package that was basically counterbalancing the largest fall in national income that we've experienced in the post-Depression period. The stimulus has run its course for the most part, but of course it has added to the national debt and put us up to the statutory ceiling by this summer, by the summer of 2011. So that's how we got where we are. And in the elections of 2010, the Republicans returned to a majority in the House, so now we have divided government. One party controls one part of Congress, the other party controls Senate and the presidency. That's where the political problem comes in, and that's where the political tug-of-war began. And the new Republican majority in the House, particularly its more conservative wing, associated with the Tea Party in the media, but it's actually much broader than that. The more conservative wing decided that the debt ceiling vote was a point at which they could gain leverage. And indeed, they could. They could gain, even though they only controlled one part of the government, they could gain considerable leverage on putting forward their own political agenda to counterbalance the president's, which they saw us engaged in too much spending. So at the end of the day, there finally was an increase in the debt ceiling, as you know, along with decisions made to cut spending in the future. However, and here's the bad news, in the wake of the debt ceiling controversy, the U.S. government for the first time in history lost its AAA bond rating. Its rating is now AA+. Still a very good rating, but we can no longer say that U.S. government bonds are the single safest investment in the world. And it will cost us, it will cost the taxpayers money in higher interest payments that the government will have to make. How much, we don't know, and how long this will remain the case, we don't know. But in another commentary, I'll discuss the future ramifications. If you found these political commentaries to be interesting, please feel free to post questions or comments, and we can engage in further dialogue.